Hello and welcome to the big picture. The last 24 hours has been a period of great drama, hope and betrayal and disappointment for the supporters of the BJP. The much expected anointment of Narendra Modi at Goa on Sunday as the chairman of the campaign committee for the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, the celebration by the cadre in many parts of the country, the media hype surrounding it, had all made it look as if the BJP has played a masterstroke. However, in less than 24 hours after the Goa excitement, the party now finds itself in the midst of one of its most serious crises. The decision of its most senior leader and patriarch L.K. Advani to resign from all party posts has virtually taken the wind out of the sails of the party. What will happen in the next few hours, days, is something one can only speculate. Whether the furious attempts to placate the patriarch will bear fruit or not is to be seen. However, the question is how the serious observations made by Advani in his letter to the BJP president will affect the party and, most importantly, Narendra Modi in his new role. Will Modi be able to carry the same kind of legitimacy when he goes around campaigning on behalf of the party? This and many other questions beg for an answer. We will discuss all this today with Nirmala Sitharaman, national spokesperson of the BJP, Zoya, Hasan, Professor of Political Science at the JNU and author of several books, Vinod, Sharma, political editor, Hindustan Times, and Sheela, Bhatt, senior editorial director, news, rediff.com and India Abroad. Welcome to all of you. Nirmala, yesterday around 24 hours ago, Arun Jaitley made a speech in Goa. He said that well begun is half done, and Narendra Modi edited and modulated it, saying that half well begun is half won. Now it's all undone after Advani has resigned?
No, I don't think I look at it like that. It's certainly a shocking development, and the party and its senior leadership are talking with Advani ji. And as I've come here for the show, I've heard also that the parliamentary board is likely to meet. They will be talking about it. And we are confident that certainly talking to the senior, after all, such a senior leader, the peer, and also been the mentor of the party, we are not going to take any of his comments or his concerns lightly at all.
My question is these concerns, he had not expressed these concerns till yesterday or till today morning?
Well, otherwise, I wouldn't have said I'm surprised and shocked at this development. Certainly, the party president.
So he has taken the party by surprise. That's what you're trying to say?
The party, I'm not even trying to say that. I'm openly saying I'm surprised. I'm also saying that the first day when we met in Goa, the office bearers meeting was held. And even at that time, while beginning the meeting, the president of the party very clearly said that he has spoken to Advani ji, who couldn't come that day because of his ill health. So did he say yesterday, so did he say day before yesterday, the first and the second day of the national executive. So it is not as if the president of the party had not spoken to Advani ji, expressed concern about his health and also kept him informed. So on the one hand, here am I telling you that the party president himself has been repeatedly saying in the meeting that he has spoken to Advani ji and then carried forward with the meeting. And therefore, I don't want to say that there is no concern at all. There will be certainly a lot of concern.
So is it some serious communication gap between the president of their party and the senior most leader of the party?
I wouldn't be able to comment on it.
Wouldn't that be a very fair conclusion that one can draw, that there has been a very serious communication gap between the two of them?
I certainly would discourage anyone who wants to do that, because President has announced in the National Executive, which is a formal forum, and he has been continuously doing that, not just one day, but he's done it all the 3 days. So I won't take my president's word any lightly.
Absolutely, you don't have to. But Vinod Sharma, do you think there's a serious communication gap between the president of the party and how did this happen in 24 hours? Because it is not surprising. It was not a secret that Advani had certain reservations about this appointment. It was there all over. It was being discussed all over. And then when yesterday that announcement was made, everybody presumed, even the media presumed, that Advani has been placated or has been.
No, I cannot distrust when Nirmala says that the president was informing the office bearers and the meeting on a regular basis that he had a talk with Mr. Advani. Now, what was that talk? Was it that he inquired about his health, or was it that he was seeking his views on what was on the agenda in the meeting? Be that as it may, I think that the denouement is of serious concern, not just to the BJP, but also its very many supporters today in the country. Because Mr. Advani's letter, Girish, is a vote of no confidence in the leadership of the BJP.
Absolutely.
And it is not an ordinary thing to happen.
It's not an ordinary thing.
It is almost like Sonia Gandhi writing a letter of this nature to Rahul Gandhi, that she has lost confidence in the party's ability to be different, that the party stood for certain values which no longer exist, and that individual leaders were pursuing their personal agendas in the name of party work or while performing duties for the party. No, I think that after having said all this, it is not going to be easy for Mr. Advani to withdraw his resignation unless something drastic is done.
We will come to what can happen.
But Mr. Rajnath Singh, in my view, and without any disrespect to him, has grossly mishandled this. Whatever has happened, the onus has to be on the party chief, because he was in touch with Mr. Advani.
Right.
And he was the one
and as
who
Nirmala, as Nirmala says that, I mean, nobody can distrust the president when he comes and says to the...
So he has quite clearly not been able to handle this issue to the best of the party's interests.
Sheela, what went wrong?
No, first of all, this is lose-all game for BJP, within BJP. Narendra Modi, by the the way things are unfolding, he has been getting message that he will not have his own way, but he will have to go to the traditional character of BJP, of behind the scene they always had a collective leadership. So he is being given message by old gentleman, mentor, founder, nurturer, gardener of his party, which is very, very bitterly in a very much before the camera now he is getting in. But I think broader interesting news angle is that I feel that the way Goa has been done, and there is no denial of fact that Narendra Modi definitely has a support within his cadre, and Advani ji knows best than all of us. So now I think why Advani is doing it now is because Narendra Modi's and Rajnath Singh, Arun Jaitley clique, they have a very well laid out, well thought out, elaborate, intelligent, smart plan. And Advani ji must be thinking that this is the right time.
Mr. Advani was not part of the, is not part of that plan.
No, I wouldn't say, I think one should be reasonable. This new generation did try to cajole him, take him to confidence, but then Advani is Advani, and he has his own stake to the future of BJP and future of country, and everybody knows that there was never before a fertile ground for opposition party to get power through electoral process the way it is now. So I think Advani ji legitimately, I would say, he was trying to get the party's node, but then cadre has really sprung up as a one new political force within the BJP. So I think RSS and others. So I think this is a very interesting thing, but transition of power within BJP has not been smooth.
So you are saying that it is plain and simple, naked ambition of Advani ji, which is making him do what he is doing.
I am not using those words. I am saying these are natural processes of politics. Advani has a legitimate claim, but then Modi also has done so much to claim this post, and as it happens in personal life, family life, social life, it's happening, the clash of generation.
Clash of generation. You think Zoya, this is just a clash of generations, ambition of Advani, or Narendra Modi's over ambition to be leading, or to be at the helm of affairs?
Well, I think for a start, there's never a dull moment in Indian politics. Secondly, I think BJP has fully lived up to its reputation of a party with differences. Now, none of us, and I'm certainly not, I'm nobody to comment on BJP's internal politics and who said what and what happened in the telephone calls. We can only go by what has eventually transpired.
Right.
And let us not forget that at this meeting yesterday, Rajnath Singh explicitly said that he has not an iota of doubt about the acceptability of Mr. Narendra Modi to be the chief of the campaign committee. Now, when he's saying this, and he's supposedly also
he
in
said
contact...
he said many more things.
Yeah,
also.
he said many, and he's supposedly also daily in touch with Mr. Advani for the last 2 days. Now, I mean, it's so obvious that this was not a health issue, because yesterday Mr. Advani had a video conference with a function in Jaipur. This morning, he did not even wait for 24 hours to resign. So clearly, I mean, the point about the differences is serious, but I think there's a much larger issue here, and that is this, that it's clear that it would be now very difficult to undo the decision that was taken in Goa. Now, Mr. Modi will remain as the chairman of this committee. At the same time, I think it will be very difficult for Mr. Advani now to take back his resignation. So there'll be a stalemate. Now, there may be, as was just being suggested by the BJP spokesperson, that there will be some kind of settlement. But the fact is that that within 24 hours of anointment, it's very clear that all is not well in the BJP. There are very serious differences within the BJP, between the BJP and its allies, and we've all heard in the last 3-4 hours the statements that have come from the JDU. Because you see,
no, we will let us not touch the allies at all. Let us keep it to the BJP.
No, but I'm saying even on this, you see,
later.
The issue is this, that after all, Mr. Advani, I mean, many of us would have, obviously I would have, and I'm sure many of us would have very serious differences with his politics, his strategy, his role in Indian politics. But there's no getting away that Mr. Advani is really responsible for the building of this party, for the development of this party. He brought this party from 2 seats in 1984 to 89 and then to 180 seats. Now, can we say the same about Mr. Modi? We can't say. Mr. Modi has no doubt won 3 terms in Gujarat.
He has not been tested
but surely
nationally.
There is nothing to suggest that Mr. Modi has been able to do for the BJP what Mr. Advani was able to do for the BJP. Now, that the BJP and the RSS expect that he will do so in the future is something that remains to be seen.
No, we will come to the role of Modi and things like that. Nirmala, I just want, picking up from what Sheela was saying, is this just a generational war?
No, can I just say something on this? You know, this generational thing, I think we need to
let her finish and then I'll come back to you.
No, there are lots of things in it in which I think we are a very democratic party. You might want to say, oh, too democratic or whatever. I think in Indian political culture, this is definitely something which people don't understand, that in BJP we do talk it out with leaders, we do respect our leaders, we don't lock up our leaders in bathrooms and take a decision. We do have...
Who does it?
What was Mr. Sitharaman Kesari? Where was he kept when the decisions were made? So let me very clearly underline, yes, in this age of television, 24 hours television, everything that is done within the 4 walls of a party do come out, and these are issues on which all of us will have to talk about, because this is part of our electoral democracy, and we don't run away from discussing.
So are you trying to say that this is just internal party democracy at work, what we are seeing, and nothing else, and it's a matter of time before it will all be resolved and everything will be hunky-dory?
I wouldn't really go in those kind of terminologies. We will certainly take the concerns expressed very seriously, because he is our mentor. There is no doubt about it. And in Indian politics today, and I will say this of all parties, there is not a single leader like Mr. Advani of 60 years experience in Indian politics.
Nobody denies
and therefore, in BJP, we value him, we respect him. And everything that he says, we will definitely take on very seriously. And this is something which we as a party will have to stand up to.
But do you admit that it has embarrassed the party heavily? It has affected the image of the party at a very crucial time. Just 24 hours after this huge celebration, this happens. Isn't this something which is going to have a long-term repercussions on the party? We will discuss that. But before that, we'll go into a very short break now. We'll come back very soon. Please keep watching. Welcome back. We are discussing what is happening in the BJP and asking the question, what kind of legitimacy Modi will carry after what Advani has done today. Nirmala, I'll want to go to Vinod, but before that I want, that question.
But never mind. Yes,
but please answer that question. Now, like Vinod was pointing out, Mr. Advani has written in his letter that the current functioning of the party or the direction which it is going, I cannot reconcile with it. It's a very serious charge he is making against the party. It is not just about Narendra Modi or anything like that. It's a much larger issue he has raised today.
Yes, certainly. That is why I even at the very beginning said these are issues being raised by the mentor of the party, the person who built the party.
My question, Nirmala, is that, why has it been these kind of questions I'm sure it has not come up overnight. It must have been there in his mind. He must have been discussing with the party member, with the party leaders and everybody before the national executive and all. Why is it that, people don't seem to have taken note of it? He seems to be very hurt. Do you agree with that?
All of us are hurt. He's hurt. If he's not hurt, he certainly wouldn't have written a letter.
Have done.
But the point that I'm trying to answer you is, you seem to have concluded that nobody has heard him. People are hearing. We are talking with them, and even now, certainly the parliamentary board will be addressing these issues and talking about it with Mr. Advani. So I will certainly want to disabuse this whole thing of, no, we are not listening to him. No, we are not hearing him. We will certainly not.
Now you have no choice but to listen to him because he has come out in the open.
No, even earlier.
Earlier, maybe that is why he has done what he has done.
No, I want to correct that line.
Okay, Sheela, Sheela.
No, I want to correct. No, you will not use this language to me, please.
Okay.
That you have no choice. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Now you have no choice.
That's absolutely wrong.
Do you have a choice?
That's
what is the choice you have now?
You
if
seem
not
to be
to listen
building
to him.
Girish, please.
Yes.
I would say this yesterday, I would say this now, I would say this tomorrow. We take Mr. Advani very seriously because he is our party, almost the mentor, and therefore, I don't want you to tell me.
You're saying that we have been hearing him.
Let me just finish.
Yes.
I do not want you to please tell me that you have no choice. We always will hear him. Not just today, we'll always hear him always. Don't give me this thing of we
Vinod,
don't have a choice.
Vinod,
we will look up to him for it.
Vinod.
I think that, of course, the BJP has a choice, and I hope that, I wish that they had exercised their choice a trifle earlier. You know why? You see, the logic Mr. Advani gave, the logic that was attributed to Mr. Advani vis-a-vis Mr. Modi. And this is not just about Modi.
No, this is not just about Modi.
It's not just about Modi.
Yes.
But the logic which was given.
He says, one second, most leaders of ours are now concerned just with their personal agendas.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to come to that. What was he saying? And there was a lot of science and logic to it, insofar as coalition politics is concerned. Right. He said, if you're going to project Modi prematurely and in such a haste, you're going to shift the agenda away from the UPA's misdeeds and focus it on Mr. Modi's persona, which in any case is a polarizing persona. BJP calls it popular, I call it polarizing. For me, as a citizen of this country, popular is inclusive, polarizing is exclusive. A. B. He said there should be adequate emphasis on NDA plus. Now, when he talked about NDA plus, which means that even if on the strength of Mr. Modi's popularity, assumed popularity, if you are able to bring the BJP to a certain point, there is anything between 180 to 200, that the BJP should have enough credibility and attraction for other parties to make it to 272.
Now, obviously, he was thinking of
the question here is,
he was thinking of the 96 situation
yes,
where not even one
himself,
MP,
where he himself paved way for Mr. Vajpayee,
yes.
And Mr. Vajpayee, Girish, we all know, could not attain NDA plus in his first attempt.
Exactly.
He got it in his second attempt.
Absolutely.
Secondly,
yes.
You see, it is not because only about Mr. Modi, because there are people who have aligned themselves with Mr. Modi, and there are people who are traditionally aligned with Mr. Advani, and there are people who are perhaps at times nowhere between these two poles, they have been systematically marginalized despite their strong contributions to the party, and that has caused this problem.
Absolutely. Yes, Nirmala, quickly.
Very quick observation, we always respect Advaniji's viewpoints, and we'll certainly discuss this. We've discussed it earlier and we'll continue to discuss it. But suddenly, without, of course, I'm not personalizing this debate, suddenly I find many people who rejected Advaniji
absolutely, I agree with you.
Who thought anything that he uttered was sacrilegious and couldn't be considered, he is Iron Man, he's Hindutva man and all that. today find a lot of virtue in Advani?
No, I don't know whether they find a virtue, but
I'm glad that
the
they're
people
getting
are fishing in
converted.
troubled waters, and it is in
Yeah,
politics
I'm
it
glad
happens.
many of them seem to find virtue in what Mr. Advani is saying, and I'm glad, and we will also take those viewpoints which are inferences derived from the letter which he's written very seriously.
Okay, Vinod, very quickly, very
A
quickly.
virtue was found by people in Mr. Advani, even when he called Jinnah secular, because there were many people who felt that this student of history from the RSS Pathshala was for a change reading a chapter of history very honestly.
Okay.
And at that point of time, the BJP people who were associated with him were under pressure, forced to distance themselves from him, and Mr. Advani, to his credit, never changed his position on Jinnah. He has not changed it till now.
Okay, Zoya, now, will Modi continue to have the same legitimacy after all this has happened? Now when he goes out to campaign, you think he will be carrying the same kind of legitimacy which he had till yesterday? After at least in his own cadre, among his own cadre, even among the media, when there was a hyper activity of the media yesterday after the anointment.
Well, this whole episode has been a great embarrassment and a setback for the BJP. What's very clear is that Modi is a divisive figure even within the BJP.
Exactly.
Now, if he is such a divisive figure within and a polarizing figure, no doubt that he may mobilize support, but he equally polarizes people. Now, if
within the party too.
If he's so divisive within the party, then you can well imagine how divisive he will be for the polity as a whole. Now, as to his legitimacy, I have serious doubts whether he had very huge legitimacy. He certainly had legitimacy in Gujarat. He has certainly legitimacy with the BJP cadres. But there is, this illusion that the BJP leadership and the RSS leadership has that Mr. Modi, as the head of the BJP's campaign, BJP is going to win 200 or 220 seats.
The number is
No, let me please complete. You see, the point is that there are at least 210 seats in South India and Eastern India where BJP as an organization just does not exist. That leaves the BJP to compete for 350 seats. And principally, it is looking to UP and Bihar. And you could say Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh, they're already done very well.
We will do
Rajasthan, so the point is that... No, but that's the point. That is the point, that when we are talking about his legitimacy... No, but you see, when you're talking about legitimacy, legitimacy, it's basically the media, the middle classes, the corporate sector, and the RSS. It was a manufactured consent which has come apart.
Nirmala, manufactured consent which has come apart. One second thing is, I want you to address that question. Will Modi have the same kind of legitimacy which he had till yesterday within your own party, forget outside, within your own party and supporters outside the party after this episode?
First thing, differences within party which are never resolved and differences within party which get resolved are all features of most parties. We've always discussed also, and unendingly without resolving it, even in television discussions, about the differences in the CPM, Prakash Karat, Pinarayi Vijayan, Achyutanandan. We've had a lot of these differences, which even parties which are confined to, let's say, one or two states are unable to, resolve among themselves. So it is not new for political.
The stakes for BJP is much higher than any of these parties.
No, parties, the founder resigns.
Oh my God, let me just finish. Here, we are talking about an election year, and therefore it assumes a lot of significance, is never denied. But the fact remains that these processes, I'm glad to say, when it happens in BJP, certainly attracts a lot of TRP, and we will engage with the TRP.
Okay, okay, Sheela.
No,
your take, will Modi be able to carry on as before?
I understand
even if whatever resolution takes
the
place.
ethical element or a moral element which you are addressing to.
Right.
But let us say one thing frankly, and I'm not trying to defend either BJP or defend some values which are not worth pushing for. But I must say, we live in the society, in this new India. I don't think even Amitabh Bachchan's legitimacy is till next Friday, till every Salman Khan also. We are living, these are issues of 30s, 1930, 40, 50, 60s, may be true. But now everybody's legitimacy is till the next election. We already forgot Karnataka victory of Congress. So first of all, it's not exactly the right question. Right question is this, that an interesting question would be that whether Advani Within intra-party war is there, no doubt. Transition of power is not at all smooth, rather crude, agree. But whether, we were discussing in the first round choices.
Time is running out
choices,
quickly.
I think choices already made. It's a
choice already made.
Yeah, Narendra Modi is there and he is going to be there
for the next.
So now,
1 year.
we have to understand whether Advani has, how much strength
whether
he
Advani
has.
will be there
His
or
strength,
not.
No, whether how much he can take this war, which he
Forward.
has declared
Okay.
forward,
Quickly.
and
Last words.
does he have the wherewithal? And I
Wherewithal.
don't think he'd have.
He has,
You
okay.
see, Sheela is
Very quickly, Vinod.
persists in saying transition of power. I'm sorry, it's a change of guard. It's no transition of power.
Absolutely.
One generation is handing over the baton to another. But I have serious doubts now that Mr. Modi, whether he will ever get acceptability as the leader of the NDA from the Prime Ministerial position.
On that note,
There is a serious question mark on that
okay,
today.
on that note, I think we have to end. But this has been a very interesting discussion. Nirmala Sitharaman, I actually have to thank Nirmala Sitharaman for having come here and defended her party and so effectively. But this is something which we will wait and watch. This is not something which is going to end very soon. So the all eyes will be on the BJP, how they will be able to resolve this issue and what kind of legitimacy the new messiah of the BJP will have in the coming days. Thanks to all my guests, Nirmala Sitharaman, Vinod Sharma, Zoya, Hasan and Sheela Bhatt. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue on the big picture same time tomorrow.